What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer deadline day special. Listen, we're here. It's the evening one. The window closes in an hour. I'm a little bit later than expected. Cruz had a game tonight. He scored a hat-trick, so big up to him. So it's worth being late when you put in performances like that. But we're here, final hour, real conversations to have, people. And I don't know, I just... Listen, we're not getting the striker. It's clear as day we weren't even interested in getting a striker. Mixed feelings right now. I've got to be honest in terms of this window and what has happened today. Sterling, I'm quite happy with that, but the fact they haven't gone for a striker, we're going to have a lot of conversations. There is 56 minutes to go of the transfer window. Eddie Nketiah has still not been announced by Crystal Palace. What is going on with that? What is happening with Kieran Tierney? Why is Kieran Tierney still at Arsenal? Don't get me wrong, there are some transfer windows that are still open beyond today. I believe the Turkish window, the Saudi window, and one or two others. But where is Kieran Tierney? Where is Eddie Nketiah? That guy really is the Teflon Don. You just can't get rid of him. He agreed a deal. Palace haven't announced it. And there's many other things. Jadon Sancho looks like he is heading to Chelsea. And also, it looks as if Victor Osimhen will not be going to Chelsea either. It looks like he will either be staying at Napoli or going to Saudi. As I said, the Saudi window doesn't close tonight. There is another 4 days left. So there's no rush for the Saudi club. They could quite easily sign him from Napoli in 3 or 4 days' time, people. I'm going to be totally honest. I am going to be totally honest. That's what you get from me on this channel. I give you complete honesty. There is an element of me that is happy that Raheem Sterling is coming to Arsenal. I'll be honest. And some of you in the chat won't agree with it. That's fine. That's footballing opinions. Would I rather sign no one or sign Raheem Sterling on loan? I would rather sign Raheem Sterling on loan. Because the reality is, whether we like it or not, he's better than Nelson. He's better than the form of Martinelli. He might even have an argument to say he's better than Trossard when he's at it. He's not currently better than Trossard, the way he's performing. However, there is an element of Jamaican tax attached to that and what Raheem Sterling was 2 or 3 years ago. We will find out in the next 10 or 15 games, can we get the Raheem Sterling that was performing at Manchester City, or is this Raheem Sterling that's playing for Chelsea actually on the way down in his career and slightly washed up? We will find out in 10, 15 games. The one thing that I won't cry about is it's a loan deal with an option to buy. If he's good, you sign him. If he's bad, you send him straight back to Chelsea. It's their problem next year. At least we have a different dimension to the attack. As you say, Bladder, if it's Willian Part 2, it's shocking. But at least you don't sign him on a permanent deal. We gave Willian a 3-year contract. We were stuck with him. It was a disaster. If Raheem Sterling comes in for a year and he can help us, we keep it moving. That's my honest opinion of Raheem Sterling. 3 hours ago, it looked shaky like it wasn't going to happen. I did tell you this morning, by the way, that I thought Raheem Sterling would sign for Arsenal today, and it looks like it will probably happen, although we're not there yet. However, let me make this abundantly clear. What has happened in this transfer window, in my opinion, this is my opinion purely, not everybody will agree with this. What has happened in this transfer window, in my opinion, from the Kroenkes, unless they have a notable explanation and we're running the borderline of PSR, I'm sorry, it is a disgrace. If you're of a nervous disposition, if you don't like to hear the cold, hard truth, and you want to hear butterflies and flowers running through the fields, as I always say, people, top right-hand corner. There is an X. Click it and exit through the door. I'm saying it. I'm being real. You can leave. This ain't a school lesson. This ain't double maths on a Monday. You can walk out. There is an X. Click it. Come out. Go and watch another channel. It's as simple as that, people. And this is me just being honest. Yeah, Raheem Sterling, bit of Jamaica tax, what he did at City, Raheem, cool. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and pretend that this has been some incredible window. This doesn't mean I'm giving this window 7, 8 out of 10. Oh, 7, 8, we've balanced the books. No, I ain't interested in that. I'm not interested in that, people. Will you reply with a grovelling apology if we win the league? No problem. Clip it. Transfer deadline day, 51 minutes before the window closed. Clip it. Clip it. Yeah, I'll give you the apology. Arteta, I do all of them green screen. But let me tell you something. Are you going to come in this chat and apologise if we don't win the league? I can't believe it. Dan told me on the stream today there's a painting of Josh Kroenke outside the Emirates. Like, what are we doing here, people? What do we actually want to do as a football club? Just tell us what it is, and then we'll understand what we're doing. Tell us. We're here to get top 4 Champions League. If we nick an FA Cup, Carabao Cup, it's a bonus. I'll be fuming, but I'll understand it. A harsh truth is better than a soft lie. I say it again, a harsh truth is better than a soft lie. At least you know where you stand if they tell us the truth. What is this? How can they sit there as a football club and believe we don't need a striker? Let me take this off. I'm hot in here, people. I'm getting hot. How can any Arsenal owner, boss, believe that we didn't need a striker? You're rolling the dice on Havertz against Haaland. Make it make sense. Haaland, he's a robot. He don't miss. If he stays fit this season, I reckon Haaland breaks his own record. 36 league goals. You're rolling the dice on Havertz. Havertz, you've improved still. I think you'll score goals this season. But you're prepared to gamble on that. You could have signed Tony for 40 million. You could have signed Gyökeres. Okay, that would have been expensive. Osimhen, 60 million. Mukhtar, the let's stay positive thing, right? I'll be honest, I'm beyond that. I heard that a year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Oh, Wenger's won the FA Cup. He can win the title now. Didn't happen. Emery's here. He's the master of winning the Europa League. Didn't happen. Arteta 2 years in a row hasn't. I'm sorry, people. Nah, listen. Not everyone's going to agree in the chat. That's the beauty of the comments. Express your opinion. Be respectful. You don't even have to agree with me. You know this. This is an open platform. You don't need to all be in the comments agreeing with me. If you disagree, tell me. But just be respectful. We'll have a conversation. I don't understand how any Arsenal fan can sit there and be satisfied with this window. I just don't understand it. We've had 2 years where we have genuinely pushed Manchester City to the edge. 8 points clear, Saliba injury, not enough squad depth, it cost us. Last year, probably Aston Villa, West Ham, Fulham, those games cost us the title. We didn't have enough. You have a summer transfer window, Champions League money. Players want to sign for us. We're an attractive proposition now. It ain't like when Vlahovic was ignoring the phone calls. You've got Havertz, who isn't a natural striker. That's a gamble in itself, right? You've got Gabriel Jesus, who's injured, who is injury prone. I think a lot of us would get rid of Jesus for a suitable amount of money. And then you have no striker. In fact, I'm lying. We do have a striker. Because as I'm speaking to you at 10:13 p.m. on deadline day, Eddie Nketiah has not been announced at Crystal Palace. You watch somehow that deal. Listen, some of you might be in the comments thinking he's overreacting. We push Manchester City all the way. We've signed Calafiori. We've signed Marino. We've got Neto in as backup. Raheem Sterling's on the way. I'm sorry, people, and I could be wrong. Let me make this abundantly clear. Let me go full screen. Raheem, we'll come back to that conversation. Let me go full screen. I could be here right now having a howler. Sterling might come in 12, 14 league goals. Havertz might hit 20. Our defence is rock solid. Marino, when he comes back, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will sit here and hold my hands up. We will do a waffle, ASMR. We can do all of it. I'm angry right now, people. I'm sorry. I'm not shouting. I'm not ripping the t-shirt. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed, people. Honestly. And as I said, you won't all agree. You won't all agree, and I respect it. Put your comments in. We'll have a chat. I'm here. I'm in no rush. I ain't going nowhere. I've turned up late. Let's chill. It's Friday night, people. Let's put your feet up. Lean back in the chair. We're here for the next however long. I feel like I've been hustled. I feel like you've asked me for my bank details and you've put my money into a pyramid scheme and nicked it. I'm sorry. No, Salman, I'm fuming because you know what with Arsenal? You know what they do to you? You say to yourself, I'll never fall for that trick again. And then you fall for it. You watch the games. You buy the new shirt. You put your energy and your time into the football club. Because, as I say, people, being a football fan is addictive. You're addicted to your football club. You want them to win. You put time. You put energy. You say, I'm not going to care. Do you want me to tell you how my day has gone today as an Arsenal fan? I woke up this morning. Are they going to shock us and do something that I don't expect? Will they buy Osimhen? Will they buy Gyökeres? Will they buy Ivan Toney? It was abundantly clear early on that they weren't. Then they go for Raheem Sterling. I'm like, I'll be honest, I've been a big fan of Raheem Sterling over the years, but that's not really what I expected to happen in this window. I just didn't see that kind of thing happening. It got to the point in the middle of the afternoon that when the Sterling deal looked a bit shaky, I started saying in my head, yo, I'm actually gutted that we're not getting Sterling now. That's what they did to me. I was like, Sterling. And then I was like, boy, on loan. I'm having to justify it in my own head. Like, it's like Me, Myself and Irene. You ever watch that film? Jim Carrey, like there's two people arguing with each other. This side is capping saying, yeah, but Curtis, good backup. The other side's going, yeah, but bro, as I said at the start of this stream, Raheem Sterling on loan in as an individual deal is not a terrible deal on loan. It could be Willian Part 2. If it is, at least we haven't got to sign him. We send him back. If he does well, we've got him on loan and we think about whether we take him on a permanent. But you've left us short again. Tell me, as an Arsenal fan, when have you ever left the summer transfer window and gone, there is no gap in our starting 11? You can accept the odd gap in the squad. Even Manchester City have got a gap in their squad. You know, they've sold Alvarez and haven't replaced him. You could argue Manchester City are a Haaland injury away from a real problem. Who goes up front for them if he was out for 6 weeks or 2 months or 3 months? But as an Arsenal fan, when's the last time you had a transfer window in the summer where you went, 1 to 11, we're good, man, we're strong? I mean, what a day. Mikel Merino injured, first training session, fractured shoulder. Gabriel Magalhaes lands on him in training, day one of him being an Arsenal player, fractures his shoulder, could be out for over 6 weeks. He misses the Manchester City and Tottenham game. First training session. Absolutely unbelievable. And listen, Sterling, it distracts us. It calms us down a little bit. Distraction tactics. They do it in the media, in the press. They do it all the time. I'm not going to say what's on my mind right now, but it happens all the time. They'll have a story in the papers all the time, and the next minute it just disappears. And you're like, what happened? Raheem Sterling distracts us. I'll talk about Sterling for the next 5 days. I'll do videos. I'll justify why he can be a really good signing. You know, the culture will love it, by the way. We got Jamaican training kit out right now. We're about to sign Raheem Sterling. It will get lapped up. I said there's Jamaican tax attached to this signing. But that's not enough for me to pretend that this transfer window is good enough. It's not. Is Pep Guardiola sitting in his office tonight going, damn, I got a real problem, man. They went big. They went big. Oh, who'd they get? Neto from Bournemouth. Okay, cool. 35. I don't know. And I said it, people. And I said it, and I want all of you to do it. Don't let them ruin your summer. In fact, summer's done in 2 days. Don't let them ruin your autumn either. Just get on with it. I'm not shouting. I'm not ripping shirts. I'm not going crazy. Let's be honest. I should stand upstairs, look in the mirror and say, why did you expect something different? You've seen this film before. You know how it ends. There'll be people in the comments. You're overreacting. Be positive. We've improved. I get all of that. I'm just bored with it now. I'm just bored with it. You know, we've all seen this before. We should be sitting here going, they've done what was necessary. I'm not even asking you for the bonus pieces. Just do what's necessary. We needed a centre midfielder. You got one. Is he good enough? Time will tell. But we needed a striker. We needed a striker. And we haven't bought one. And the club can't tell me that they didn't want a striker because they offered to buy Sesko for 55 million. So if you wanted Sesko in June for 55 million, you obviously felt at the end of the season we needed a striker. After the transfer window. 55 million for Sesko. Sesko decides to stay. He's not happy. He thinks, I'm going to stay at Leipzig, be the main man. Oh, we didn't get Sesko. We won't go for anyone else. How does that make sense? You obviously felt we needed a striker because you went for Sesko. You was prepared to pay his 55 million release clause. The guy rejected the move. So why on earth have we not gone for somebody else? There's actually better strikers on the market than Sesko right now, like today. I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. You know, I thought they were going to surprise me. I've clung on to, surely, bro. Fabio Vieira's gone. Smith Rowe's gone. Where's Eddie Nketiah? Like, genuinely. I'm asking the community, where is Eddie Nketiah? Why is he not holding up a Crystal Palace shirt with 40 minutes to go? Where is he? Still no confirmation of Nketiah. Someone tweeted 9 minutes ago. If this guy somehow stays, oh my days. Oh my days. People think I'm letting the clip off. The clip ain't even been let off yet, people. Let's talk at 11:01. Let's talk at 11:01. Where's Eddie Nketiah? Is he doing his medical? Is he holding up the shirt? Where is he? If Eddie ever survives this, imagine Eddie ends up staying and he's like the new signing. Let me get into some of your super chats. Sam Bond, big up, new member. Appreciate that, bro. Welcome back to the community. I think you've been a member before anyway. Mohammed says, Raheem is going to cook. If he was a system player, we are too organised with a system, unlike Chelsea. Listen, I'll be honest. I think Raheem Sterling is a decent signing on loan. I really do. Arsenal never really benefit from the loan market. A lot of other clubs get good players in on loan. We haven't really been good enough with it. I think Raheem Sterling is a very interesting, intriguing signing for Arsenal. Can we get him back to what he was? I think he helps us. And as I said, sometimes, let me tell you, players will see Raheem Sterling walk into that dressing room and go, this guy's a big footballer. Not in height, but in terms of his CV has got a lot on it, people. I think players will see Sterling walk in that door and go, yo, we've signed Raheem, fam. Do you know what I mean? He's on loan. If it doesn't work, you bench him and give him back to Chelsea next summer. Is their problem. If he rips it up, you get him. We've got an option to buy, apparently. I honestly am not that disappointed with Sterling. I don't mind the signing. I really don't. We're in a situation where needs must. Needs must, people. We've got a Martinelli out of form. We've got a Trossard that isn't performing consistently in games where he's starting. You've got Saka who's absolutely at the top of his game. And you've got Reece Nelson behind him who hardly ever plays. Where are the wingers? We needed a winger. We needed somebody that can come in and offer us something. You know, I don't mind Raheem Sterling on loan. I really don't. I don't mind it. Texas said, injuries to midfielders or forwards, we will struggle for top 4. I do agree with that. I do. I mean, Nick don't agree, said stop capping. And honestly, I don't mind. I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. I said it this morning. I'm not mad with Sterling on loan. There's an update now. Sterling's lawyers apparently are doing the paperwork. I think if you put the transfer sheet in before 11, you can then do the medical afterwards. Big C, the buzzwords this summer is Arsenal are relaxed. So relaxed, mate, they've gone to sleep. Robert, watch our bench tomorrow. Bro, we are light. Free goalkeepers. Marcus said, man, I'm done. Hopefully we get second. Was listening to Robbie. Man, big up Turkish. Taking heat there for speaking facts. Big him up. OG's Monday. We'll have a real conversation. T. Guna, I guess Sterling at age 30 is not too bad. He's 29. Tony at 28 is. We need strikers. Never mind one. They are making excuses. Remember that? When I said get Tony? He's 28. He's too old. Proceeded to buy Marino for 40 million. 32 million, sorry. Who's 28. And then got Sterling at 29. So it shows they're very selective with when age is a problem and when it's not. Dylan said it's happening again. Arsenal and reject Albion. Mugiwara said, to think this was just offered to them and dropped in their hands, we genuinely would have signed no attacker, but people will call us negative. Chelsea must look around their dressing room and go, who are we selling? Havertz, Sterling, David Luiz, Peter Cech. Who can we sell them to? No one wants them. Ring up Edu, see what he thinks. And we go, okay, we'll take it. And that's what bothers me. It's the lack of forward thinking. We're a big boy club. We're not supposed to be relying on clubs offering up favours. We're supposed to be sure of what we want. 180-page dossier for each player. Months of planning that leads to you signing a Chelsea player that can't get in their team on loan. That, to me, is the problem with this deal and multiple deals that have happened with Chelsea. That is my issue. It's not like we've ever gone to Chelsea and gone, yo, Eden Hazard, N'Golo Kante, Diego Costa, Michael Essien, Didier Drogba. We've never gone to Chelsea and gone, yo, we're taking one of your best players and there's nothing you can do about it. We go to Chelsea and go, got a centre-back that can't get in your team. Oh, yeah, David Luiz, yeah, we'll take him. Oh, actually, he's past his best and on big wages. Yeah, we need a keeper. How about Peter Cech? He was one of the best in the Prem. Yeah, 5 years ago, before the head injury. Yeah, we'll have him. We'll have a go. You got a winger? Mudryk? Sterling? They must think, what is wrong with this team? Why do they keep buying Chelsea players that can't get in their team? It's crazy. The lack of planning is what bothers me. What are you being paid all this money for? To just end up signing Chelsea players. Chelsea finished, what, 8th last year? Why are we signing players from a team that finished 8th and it isn't their best players? Squad last season was good enough. We got Saka, Saliba, mid-backup. We only got better, in my opinion. Cheer up. Gilberto, big up yourself. We got rid of Smith-Rowe, Fabio. I don't know if we are that much better, to be honest. The defence. Unknown C, big up to you, bro. 5 years into the process, still taking Chelsea leftovers. Culture of mediocrity. Will be same old this season. Banners must ban. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Banners must ban. Owners can't be serious about winning the league. They want to compete. They want to get the money. They know top four's there. We've done enough to get top four. We've probably done enough to be in the mix of the title challenge. We might have a good run in an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup if we take it seriously. That's the best that I believe, and I could be wrong. This is opinion, not fact, so if it goes the other way, I'll hold my hands up. But that's how I feel right now. I don't see an ownership that's desperate to win, that will do everything they can to get this team over the finish line. This ain't about this season. This ain't about last season. This is about not winning a Premier League in 21 years by the time this season finishes. They told us to be excited. Are you excited right now? That's what I want to know, people. Are you excited about what's happening in this window? The window is the window of opportunity. Change things. Turn your club around. MJ, back-to-back second place. Now you think that suddenly outweighs 21 years and no Champions League. You man never learn. You even had the nerve to say, why would Nico wait for Boss? You never heard me say that, MJ, so relax on yourself, but I hear you. Some people did get carried away. Rinse, repeat, Gunners, no ambition, said SM. S24, is that what Edu was telling me to be patient for? Yeah, basically. Be patient. You'll be happy by the end of the window. Graham, Curtis, my G. Finances seem to be playing a big role in the lack of big moves. Sterling will be playing his best football, but Marino, what the hell? Bro, the shoulder popped, bro. Ollie said, I'm concerned about next season with all these loans. We need to get the same players next season, which means less money to strengthen other positions. We're going to need a striker again next season. Sniper, pull up the team thing and show the filthy park bench. Bro, we're going to talk about that, don't you worry. Mark, what about the process? It's over. Well, apparently not. It was breaking news. I thought it was Arsenal. It's Wolves. What about the process? Like a processed Rustler burger that you put in the microwave. It says it's chicken, but let's be honest. We know that ain't chicken, bro. That's something else. Jerome said, Eddie coming back like a new signing. Shaking my damn head. You got Stockholm Syndrome, Big C. No to Raheem. He's not happy. Jay said, you'll be at peace when you accept that top four is good enough for the owners. They don't have any interest in winning. It feels like that. I'll come back to the remaining super chats, people. I just want to get through a few things. If you've put super chats in, thank you very much. Big up to everyone locked in. 3,000 of you. Do me two favors. Like the video. Get it shared around. People need to come here and listen to some real conversation. And second of all, subscribe if you haven't already. Support the channel. We'll be here tomorrow. We do have a game tomorrow. I'll be live from 11:30 a.m., 12:30 kickoff UK time. Arsenal against Brighton. Obviously, Raheem Sterling and Neto. Sterling hasn't signed yet, actually, but Neto has. But you have to sign by 12 p.m. on the Friday in the daytime. And obviously, these signings will not be involved. These signings will not be involved tomorrow. And we have a very big game. I genuinely hope, for Arsenal's sake, they win the game tomorrow, because pressure will turn around very quickly on this football club. Right, let's get into a few things. Obviously, Raheem Sterling is close to signing for Arsenal. Deal is not completed yet. Apparently, the lawyers are dealing with the paperwork. It will be a loan with an option to buy. Arsenal, apparently, from what I've read, we'll figure out the true details, but they will pay the majority of his wages, not the whole of his wages. Sterling coming in means that a player will be going out, and it looks like it will be Reiss Nelson. Ipswich Town, newly promoted, are in advanced talks to sign Reiss Nelson on loan from Arsenal. This will open the door to Raheem Sterling to Arsenal from Chelsea. And as I've said all window, people, it appears Arsenal can only sign a player when a player leaves, which is unbelievable that we are in a financial position like that. But it is the case. It is the case. Reiss Nelson will go to Ipswich, newly promoted, and will get some Premier League football, which is good for him. Listen, there'll be a struggling team in the Premier League, but it is Premier League football. and it's an opportunity. I always think Reece Nelson lacks experience for a player of his age. A loan will be decent for him moving forward, and it's an opportunity for him to get football. Obviously, he's on £100,000 a week, so that will obviously free up some wages to get Raheem Sterling over the finish line. Raheem Sterling earns £325,000 a week, and it looks as if Arsenal will pay a large portion of that wage to bring him in. I suppose the interesting thing, what if Sterling actually does well? What do you do with that deal? He would still have 2 years left. And how do you figure out those wages? I don't know. From Nico Williams to Coman, now to Sterling. You shouldn't be surprised, bro. You should not be surprised. I've seen windows where we've gone from Luis Suarez and we've ended up with Lucas Perez. Getting loads of messages. Listen, I did say in the earlier stream, was it the morning stream? I said, I think Sterling will happen. And here we are. I always felt there's no way on earth he can stay at Chelsea. And there's no way on earth that Chelsea will allow him to stay. He's on too much wages. The fallout is too big. We'll speak about some other stories as well surrounding some of the other teams, because I know there is a lot happening. Rumours that Victor Osimhen may even stay at Napoli now, which is unbelievable, considering apparently Conte has had a big fallout with him. But as I said, the Saudi window is still open, and I think there will be an opportunity maybe for him to go to Saudi a little bit later in the window. So maybe that one is not forced to happen. Remember, Ivan Toney looks as if he's going to Saudi. He's completed his medical. So he will go over there. £300,000 a week. He's cashed out. No pun intended when it comes to bets. But yeah, it looks as if Reece Nelson is heading to Ipswich, people. So we will have to see with that one. TNM, always 1 or 2 players away. When do we learn? We don't. Mohammed, ESR, Nelson, Ramsdale and Ketty, are we getting rid of all the English players? They need Raheem to get the quota. Definitely. That is part of it. So yeah, that was always going to be part of it. But as I said, Eddie Nketiah has not been announced yet. Marco, can't lie, the club as well as the PR merchants online need to be held account. This is the most deflated I've felt since lockdown. Wow. That is strong words, Marco, bro. Real talk. Brian said, Arsenal always a day late and $1 short. Wow. It's hitting home, bro. Sam Bond, outgoings, Calafiore, Raya, Marino, incomings, ESR, Eddie, Ramsdale. Net spend 19 million. Completely unacceptable. Unbelievable. We've actually sold quite well, which would have made you think we could have gone big. Thermal, Sterling on loan with the striker and the other targets is more of a positive outlook, but scrambling on deadline day, we are still thin. Said it earlier on today. If Arsenal would have signed Gyökeres or somebody like that and got Raheem Sterling in on loan, we would be going, yo, that's calm. Squad depth, can play both wings, experience, no problem. We got the striker. He was just the bonus. But the bonus is the headline, and that's the problem. That's the problem. You know, when you go Nando's, you're going Nando's for some chicken, some spicy chicken. You get some halloumi cheese, some rice. That's the side dish. You don't go Nando's and order a plate of halloumi cheese. We've gone Nando's and come out with corn on a cob, tap water, and a plate of halloumi cheese. Where's the chicken? Where's the main course? I came here for extra hot chicken, people. Maybe hot, not extra hot. We've missed the main course. I'm telling you now, this guy Eddie better not be an Arsenal player in 22 minutes' time. If I read anything that deal's collapsed, that he hasn't been announced, something's gone wrong, I'm telling you now, people. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm trying. Apparently, Miguel Delaney said the details of Raheem Sterling deal are all agreed. They just need the documents signing off. They are apparently with the lawyers. Arsenal can submit the transfer sheet before 11 p.m. and then complete the deal in the 2 hours after. So it's a race against time. It's a race. Brace yourself for the Eddie news. Do you know what? Honestly, it's just like, I just don't know. I come on this channel because I believe I can talk and have explanations. But sometimes you do sit here and say, how do you explain this situation? Like, how? How do you explain it? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the funniest thing about some of the things that I've seen today that I wasn't even aware of. So let me just actually factually clear this up. Obviously, we've signed Neto as a backup goalkeeper from Bournemouth. And Neto played against West Ham on Wednesday for Bournemouth, which means Neto is cup-tied in the Carabao Cup, which you would actually think Neto would have been brought to play in a competition like the Carabao Cup. So it's just... It's like buying a Ferrari when you're banned from driving. Like, it's so funny. It's crazy. We've signed a goalkeeper that's cup-tied. We've bought a centre mid that's fractured his shoulder. It's only Arsenal. As I said, you need a sense of humour to support Arsenal. You have to. You have to have a sense of humour, people. Reem said we were in for the Bologna young striker. Xerxes, are you talking about, or somebody else? HR said, should have got someone from the third division in Brazil or Argentina. Someone like Savinho or Martinelli. Needed players. Premier League is done, said HR. Sir Festus, Curtis, if Chelsea failed to sign Victor Osimhen, what then happens to him? Because Napoli don't want him anymore. Make me understand. I mean, as I said, I believe, and I could be wrong, that the Saudi transfer window is open later than the Premier League one. Saudi transfer window, when does it shut? 6th of October. Although it says however, blah, 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 few days. Sorry, not October. This says the 7th of September. How true that is, I don't know. This here saying that, well, listen, it doesn't shut tonight anyway. Oh, people saying Monday. Chelsea delegates have given up. Osimhen deal is off. It's crazy how they've been talking to them for so long and haven't been able to do that deal. They've pulled out. Osimhen is off. I'll be honest, I think that is a huge, huge loss for Chelsea. I honestly think with a striker, they would have had a very good chance of top 4. I think with Nicholas Jackson, they've left themselves short. But it's Fitz in here, man. Let the clip off. Let the clip off, people. Jerome, I don't know why I thought these men were going to be serious and move like that. We always fall for it. Gavin said, Nketiah staying, no announcement. Surely that deal gets done. Samuel Clark, big up to you, bro. New member. Appreciate your support. HR, can we get Aubameyang back? If only. Abdullah said, Sterling on loan, then Mudryk next summer. We love a Chelsea player. C-Unit, no like Sterling, but better than nothing. It is better than nothing. But we have to aim higher, don't we? SB, born in September 02. I'm yet to see a Prem. Been supporting since 2007. If we don't win a trophy, I expect KSC out. They have suffocated our club. The conversation might, end up back at the surface. Phil, Big C in summary, we needed a striker. We've signed an Italian, Kieran Tierney, an injured 8 centre mid, and the next Chelsea dud soon come. Make it make sense. Oh, man. Somebody said earlier, we signed the Italian Rob Holding with a better hair transplant. I mean, nah, listen, I'm not disrespecting Calafiori like that. Listen, let's talk. Let's keep talking. I'm not going to talk about this for too long because this isn't going to lift anyone's spirits. It was announced earlier that Neto was signed. on loan, no option to buy, no obligation. Backup goalkeeper, 35 years of age, former Brazilian international. We tried to sign him from Barcelona a few years ago. Edu knows him from the Brazilian national team. He is cup tied for the Carabao Cup, which is a bit crazy, really, when you would expect him to play in that competition, but it is what it is. This is not going to make you smile. This is not going to make it an 8, 9 out of 10 transfer window. It was necessary because Aaron Ramsdale has gone to Southampton, and that was announced earlier today, people. So Neto has joined. He won't be in the squad tomorrow because it was past the 12 p.m. deadline to make you available for the following day in the Premier League. Keep me updated if you guys hear anything, by the way, because you guys will probably see a lot of this stuff before me. I am retweeting on social media. Now, somebody has just tweeted saying that Eddie Nketiah is a Crystal Palace player. I think it's done. They've put a video out of a phone box. I think we're there. I think Palace are set to announce it. Damn! Give us some good news, you know what I'm saying? Right, it's happened. Arsenal have just announced it. Right, we have some good news. In the streets is getting hot, and the youths them a get so cold. Searching for food pon the pot, and they'll do anything to fill that gap. Ooh. Right, it looks like he's been announced. Let me get this up. Eddie has gone. Damn. It's a day I never thought I would see, people. They've announced it. Original South London, and Nketiah is Palace. Yes. Give us something to feed off. We're getting scraps off the dinner plate right now. Let me get the story up on screen. They're announcing it on Sky. Where is it? Arsenal have just announced it on the website, I believe. Let me get it up. Why am I not seeing it on the website? Eddie Nketiah has left Arsenal Football Club. It's a day I never thought I would see. Why am I not seeing it on the website, but I've just got a notification of it? Farewell, Eddie Nketiah. Eddie has signed for Crystal Palace on a permanent deal. Right, we're going to get that on screen. That's probably the best news we've had in this transfer window. I'm not even capping. I'm keeping it real. It has finally happened. Where is the Arsenal announcement? Crystal Palace have just announced it. All right, here we go. Right, it's happened. Arsenal have now announced it. I'm not even going to make a big deal out of it and click on the story and read the whole thing. He's left. That's all we need to know. Good luck for the next chapter, Eddie. Once a gunner, always a gunner. They tweeted this 1 minute ago. Listen, I've said it before and I've said it again. I've got two things to say on this. Despite all of the banter. And you know what? I will miss Eddie being at Arsenal just purely for the fact that I banter him a lot. I want people to understand there is respect attached to it. I just never thought he was good enough to play for Arsenal. I hope Eddie Nketiah goes to Palace and does well, apart from when he plays against Arsenal. He signed a 5-year contract, apparently on the same wages. And apparently, somebody just said he's got the number 9 shirt. I mean, listen, if the squad number ain't Arsenal, I actually don't care what number he wears for them, to be honest. Let them figure out what he is and what he isn't. And we'll see what happens. Eddie's been announced by Crystal Palace, and he goes to Palace on a 5-year contract. So fair play to him. TalkSport, by the way, have just announced, how true this is, I don't know, Fulham have now jumped ahead of Ipswich in the race to get Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson keen to stay in London and also play with former teammate Emile Smith-Rowe and Alex Iwobi. So Fulham have jumped ahead of Ipswich in the race to get Reiss Nelson. Sky Sports reporting Raheem Sterling has arrived at Arsenal training ground to complete the paperwork to sign for Arsenal. Arsenal can put the transfer sheet in before completing the deal, and then they have a 2 hours extra to get the deal completed. So as I said, breaking news, 3,500 of you in the chat, by the way. Eddie and Nketiah, 2 things to say. Number 1, it was never personal, bro. I've got a wicked sense of humour. You lot know this. I can't help it. You need a sense of humour to be an Arsenal fan. It's impossible to be an Arsenal fan without having a sense of humour. Eddie, it was never personal. I'm going to be totally honest because I'm not here to cap. I'm glad that he's gone from Arsenal. I think Palace is a good move for him, and 30 million is good business for Arsenal. So there you go. All the best to him. Nothing personal. Hope he does well. And I'm glad we've moved on from him, to be honest. We need to move on from him if we're going to progress people. The disappointing... Curtis, you're absolutely... Bro, I'm here to speak the truth. It wasn't personal. Where Arsenal... Was he good enough for Arsenal? No, he wasn't. Not impersonal. I respect the young brother. 100 bags a week, multi-millionaire. I'm happy for you, bro. But I just didn't want it at Arsenal. It's never personal. Big up everyone locked in. Hope each and every one of you are well. By the way, I want to say a massive thank you to you guys for your support today and even beyond today. This has been a very, very difficult transfer window. Not very exciting. And also just dragged out and boring. Usually I'm so disappointed when the window is closing. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm glad this window is closing in 10 minutes. It's been draining. I must have made 20 videos about Calafiori before we signed him. I must have made 20 videos about Marino before we signed him. It's just drained the energy out of probably everybody that has genuinely, made content for Arsenal. And you know what? Even for you guys watching, you must have got to the point where how many times can I hear a discussion about Calafiori? The interesting thing, by the way, what number is Raheem Sterling going to wear at Arsenal? 10 and 14 are available. I would imagine he would go for number 10. But will he take the 14? I think we just leave 14 vacant because I think we're just way too emotional right now to see 14. Eddie's been sold, confirmed. Arsenal have confirmed it. Alexander, I would be fuming as a Crystal Palace supporter. Well, I can say what I really think right now. He's actually a Palace player. You're going to find out for yourselves. That's all I'm going to say. E-Ross said, speaking of spirits, get me some Rayo nephews. Need some more red stripes. It's going to be a long night. Right, Ornstein has tweeted people about Raheem the Dream Sterling. Raheem Sterling arrives at London Colney training ground to undergo a medical ahead of a proposed transfer from Chelsea to the Arsenal. Arsenal, Chelsea, and the players' representatives are working to finalise a season-long loan for the 29-year-old England international. Listen, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. As I've said a few times in this show, in isolation, Sterling on loan is not a terrible deal. He offers us something that we need, experience, somebody who's won, and he's versatile, and it's a loan. If he's bad, you send him back. If he's good, you sign him if you want to. Gaza may say, thank you, Jamie. Wake up this morning, turn on, it's dark morning. Turn around, bust a kiss for me, darling. Tell her, sit on me, I'm dropping out the street. In the street, me see poor people. Yo, like I said, there might be a little yard tax attached to it, but I mean, I've got one question. Where's the striker? That's my question, people. That's my question to Arsenal. That's my question to Edu. That's my question to the Kroenkes. Where's the striker? Gonzalo Higuain, Karim Benzema. Lucas Perez, Danny Welbeck. I just don't understand it. If we didn't have the money, why did we try and buy Sesko for 55 million in June? Was that a false offer? Was that a genuine offer? If Sterling, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Where's the striker? Where's the striker? I don't understand it. I tell you what, man. Havertz, you need to perform miracles. You're going to need to perform miracles. Listen, I want to know how you guys feel about Raheem Sterling. Just isolate that deal. I want to get the general feeling from you guys about Raheem Sterling. Are you in the category of, we needed a winger, he's very experienced, he's won a lot, can we unlock him? Are you in the category that, listen, he's been mid for 2 years at Chelsea, we're in the recycling bin of Chelsea again, and he's washed up? Where are you at? I want to know where you guys are at. Are you at all positive about Raheem Sterling coming to Arsenal? Or is this a shambles in your opinion? Getting another Chelsea player that they don't want at the football club. And they've just finished 8th. Is the truth somewhere in the middle? It's a player that does improve our squad, but he's a player that Chelsea wanted to throw in the bin. So, let me get a poll up. I want to know what you guys think. Sterling to Arsenal. Are you happy? Are you disappointed? Sterling to Arsenal. Good news, we can unlock him. Good news, we can... What shall I write it? Unlock him? We can get him back in form. Let me just put good news. I ain't writing some sentence. Good news or shambles. More Chelsea leftovers. There you go. Right, I'll put good news helps the squad. Good news helps the squad. Shambles, more Chelsea leftovers. There's the two options I'm giving you, people. More polls than an ATL strip club. And an unknown C, you're right. He said it's hard to isolate a signing with a striker. He's not bad on his own. It's a mess. It's true, innit? It's like growing up, cheese and beans on toast was a pretty good meal growing up in the, when you didn't have the most money, cheese and beans on toast, bit of melted cheese on top. It wasn't bad. But if you just deliver me a plate of beans, it's an absolute shambles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you bring me cheese, beans on toast as a snack at lunchtime, it's not bad. Some of you in America and other parts of the world might think, what kind of meal is that? But if I just bring you a plate full of beans, you're like, what on earth is that? And that's probably what Arsenal have done. They've turned up with a plate of beans for lunch. What are you supposed to do with that? Listen. It's going to be strange watching Raheem Sterling play for Arsenal. I tell you that much. He hasn't played in red since Liverpool. Interestingly enough, his first game will be Tottenham away and Man City away. So it's a crazy situation to step into. I just want to give you a bit of context, and this might be me capping a little bit, by the way, but I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. There's 3 minutes left of the transfer window. Our bench. Arsenal's bench. Let's have a look at Arsenal's bench from Saturday against Aston Villa. This was our bench on Saturday. Trossard, Nelson. Nelson's leaving by the look of it on loan. Calafiori, Ramsdale, who was left, and Nketiah, who was left. Kvyat, Zinchenko, Jorginho, and Nwaneri. So in theory, 3 of these players are not going to be there. Now Neto comes in for Ramsdale. You could say Sterling comes in for Nelson. And Nketiah, there's no replacement. We didn't buy a striker. Jesus would become that player, I suppose, once he's back from injury. So you end up with a bench of Trossard, Sterling, Calafiori, Neto, Jesus, Kvyat, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Nwaneri. But obviously at the moment, going into tomorrow's game, Jesus is injured. Sterling's not available. Neto is not available. Our bench tomorrow is going to be down to the bare bones. Probably Martinelli's on the bench. Trossard probably starts. I mean, that is a dirty Park bench, people, tomorrow. That is a dirty Park bench. I just hope we get the result tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Nelson is going to Fulham. Nelson is going to Fulham. Fulham have hijacked the offer from Ipswich. The lure of staying in London and playing in the same team as Smith Rowe and Iwobi has got Reece Nelson to Fulham. He will join Fulham on loan. Doesn't say whether there's any option to buy him, which will be interesting. We will get more details of that. Just for fans of other clubs, Jadon Sancho to Chelsea is here we go, by the way. Jadon Sancho has joined Chelsea. It is a loan deal with an obligation to buy. So that will become permanent. He is a boyhood Chelsea fan. And Jadon Sancho will join Chelsea. There is 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it, people. The summer transfer window is over. All of the dreams, all of the hopes, the major striker, Alexander Isak, Bruno Guimaraes, all of those big deals that you dreamt of, that felt possible, they didn't happen. We didn't go big. We haven't spent even 100 million in the transfer window when we are chasing arguably the greatest manager in Premier League history. I will continue to check social media because deal sheets can be put in and deals can still be announced later on. Just for anybody who's tuning in, Raheem Sterling is completing his Arsenal medical. Will that deal be done in time? As long as they submitted the transfer sheet before 11 o'clock, we can complete the deal after. We will find out if that deal has been completed. Eddie Nketiah has been announced. He has joined Crystal Palace, 5-year deal, 25 million with 5 million in add-ons. It looks as if Reece Nelson is going to Fulham when it looked like he was going to Ipswich. That will be on loan. Is there an option to buy? I'm wondering, will he come back or not? The time is now 11:01 p.m. The time is now 11:01 p.m. This is like after the watershed. You know what I mean? When the kids go to sleep and TV gets a little bit more, you know, adult-like. It starts swearing and stuff like that. Not that I'm going to swear, by the way. Let's have this conversation. If you're of a nervous disposition, if you find it difficult to hear constructive criticism towards Arsenal Football Club, leave the room. Click the X in the top right-hand corner. Other channels are available that will dress this up as something else. I'm giving you your warning, people. You can leave. I don't want you to leave, by the way. Don't take that the wrong way. I want you to stay here. I want all of you to stay in the comments and you know, like the video and subscribe and all of that. I don't want you to go, you know, don't go anywhere. But I'm trying to look after you guys. I don't want people to be offended or upset by what you're going to hear on this channel. Let's start having real conversations. I said from 11:01 we'll start talking. So let's talk. My first question to the community. What do you rate this window out of 10? That's my first question. Throw it in the comments. Because this is what everyone will do now. Everyone will do videos, international break after this weekend. What did we rate this window out of 10? I want to know what you rate this window out of 10. Because for me, this window's been shambolic. For me, this window has been absolutely shambolic. You didn't get what the club needed. Like, is it too much to ask to say, just get us what we need? Get us what we need is what we want. I'm sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, these owners, and I'm thinking how to word this, but you know what? Don't even think about it. Just say it. And I met Josh Kroenke, and I actually think Josh Kroenke is ambitious in trying to be successful at this football club, but it don't matter because you don't own the club. Your dad owns the club, and your dad's going to say what you can and can't do. I think the Kroenkes buying Arsenal is one of the worst things that's ever happened to this football club. I'm just going to be serious. I'm not here to mess about. I could be damaging myself by saying this publicly, you know, but I'm not here to. I'm here to speak facts. I want people to say what they think, whether they agree or not. I say this a lot of the time. I could dress things up a lot differently and probably be more successful on this channel. Because let me tell you something, sponsors don't really go too crazy for your channel when you're critical of your football club. I do get sponsors, but I could get more. I could probably get work in and around the football club. I've actually got decent connections inside the club. I'll never work probably with the club ever. Because I'm not going to tell people just what they want to hear to look after myself, to better myself inside the club. The aim of setting up this channel was, number one, create a platform that people feel comfortable in, can be part of a community, can speak their truth, even if it's different to the opinion of me. That's the beauty of this channel. That's what I would like to think. But also, you will get the cold, hard reality from me. When this club is good and do things right, they get huge praise. They deserve it. They get green screens. We celebrate shamelessly, people on this channel. You know this. But when something is not acceptable, I will call this club out. I will call this club out. I don't believe you can support somebody in life if you're not willing to tell them the truth in a positive and a negative way. If something goes wrong, you don't tap them on the back and tell them how well they've done. You say, yo, something ain't right there, bro. And I'm telling you that because I care about you. I'm saying all this because I care about Arsenal. In reality, we think about Arsenal every day. We look at Arsenal news every day. We're there every day. I'm fuming now, but I'll be here 11:30 a.m. tomorrow doing a watch-along, talking about the team, celebrating the goals. And you're all going to be there as well because you're a fan. It's a lifetime contract, whether you know it or not. And I'm sorry, people, but we got to start speaking and using our platforms. If we got a platform, this channel in context, this channel's way bigger, this channel's way smaller. I appreciate you guys supporting. It's never taken for granted. You give up your time, nothing more important than time. I will do my best on this platform to say, this ownership model, you are just... It's not acceptable what you're doing to this fan base. It's not acceptable. Chelsea in the last... When did Chelsea win the Champions League? 2020? Chelsea have won the Champions League. Chelsea have won the Premier League under Conte. I think that was 2017. So since 2017, Chelsea have won the Champions League and the Premier League. Right? Manchester City in the last, 2 years, they've won the Champions League, the Premier League. They won the treble. They won the treble. Manchester City. A team we used to slap all over the place. Home and away. Man United, not so good in the last 10 years, but in my lifetime, I've seen United win 2 Champions Leagues. I've seen United win a treble. I've seen United be the most successful club in English football. I've seen Liverpool win the Champions League under Klopp, win the Premier League under Klopp, win the FA Cup, win the League Cup. When you're good, you're supposed to be successful. You're supposed to win things. Chelsea were good, they won things. United were good, they won. Liverpool, they won. Man City, they won. Why are we always left out? Why are we always the odd one out? We're supposed to be in a hot streak right now. Where's the success? Where's the trophies? I have been one of the biggest critics of Mikel Arteta. You know that, and I don't hide it. I don't hide it. But I praise him when he deserves it in equal measure, by the way. But I've been a big critic of that guy. This football club, in my opinion, have let the manager down severely in this transfer window. He will do interviews and press conferences and say how happy he is with the business we've done and we did all we can and blah, blah, blah. And I get that. He's got owners. He's getting paid millions of pounds. He's not going to come out and start slandering them, is he? Of course he isn't. But I'm sorry, you've let the guy down. You've let him down massively. I don't know if it's Edu. Edu ultimately can only work with what he's got. And we don't know what he's been given to work with. But something is not right. Something is not right, people. Like, with the football club in general, to be honest, how we're always in this situation. How we always feel we didn't quite do enough. If I was predicting what I think's going to happen, we'll get close to the title again, but not quite close enough. And we'll go, oh, if we'd have had a better window, if we'd have got that striker, maybe that would have got us over the finish line. Frustrating. And listen, I might be here tomorrow. We beat Brighton 4-0. But I'm so frustrated right now. Honestly, I feel like the club have let us down. This ain't even about me. It's about all of us. You're an Arsenal fan, you don't even need to like or agree with my opinion. But we should all want the best for the football club, and this window has not been acceptable. And I honestly, Ezra said Isak in January, I've zero interest in the January transfer window. We will not buy any major player in January. It just doesn't happen. Team News and Tickets have just tweeted, Mikel Merino out for 6 to 8 weeks. Let's put that into context. You're talking about mid-October. At the earliest. Let's put that into context of 6 weeks from now. The midfielder that took so long to buy is out for 6 to 8 weeks. Fractured shoulder in training yesterday. Let's look at some of the fixtures he's going to miss. Let's give you the 6 weeks. Obviously, there's an international break, which is good. That gives him 2 weeks. So you're talking about mid-October. And that's not even being fully fit. That's just being back available in training. Tottenham away, Man City away, Leicester at home, Southampton at home. You might get him back for Bournemouth away because there's another international break in October. If Thomas Partey or Declan Rice get injured in that 6 to 8 weeks, damn. Whew. There's a problem. There is a problem. 6 to 8 weeks, first training session, unbelievable. You know, and that's just to get back on the training ground. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We've waited so long for Mikel Merino. We're not even going to see the guy play yet till October. And that's just to get back available. So it's crazy. It is crazy. Everton have grabbed Broja from Chelsea on loan with an option to buy. They needed somebody. Raheem Sterling is at Arsenal's training ground, people. We're waiting to find out whether they've submitted the deal sheet before 11 o'clock. That then gives them a 2-hour extension to complete the deal before 1 a.m. That deal hasn't been confirmed yet. Reece Nelson as well. Looks like he is joining Fulham despite interest from Ipswich. That hasn't been confirmed yet, though. James Ward-Prowse to Nottingham Forest on loan from West Ham. That's a strange one. Wilfred Zaha has gone to Lyon. Wow, on loan. Is that on loan or on a free? I'm not sure, but yeah, he will be there. He will be there, people. Yeah, very interesting. I'm just listen. I'm refreshing socials. You guys, let me know. Ivan Toney has been confirmed. Al Ali player, 5-year contract apparently. I don't know how true that is. £320,000 a week. Wow, that is absolutely crazy. Great deal for him. Mikel Merino will be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Not what you want to hear when he's had one training session. This was the window. Manchester City signed Savio. Baller, by the way. And they got Gundogan, who is, listen, we know Gundo is an absolute baller. Right. Raheem Sterling, confirmed. Whatever you think, it is happening. Raheem Sterling is an Arsenal player, according to Fabrizio Romano. Let's get this on screen, people. This is our big news of the day, so let's embrace it the best we can. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. Here we go. There we land. What the skibbity. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. Here we go. Agreement done on a loan move from Chelsea. Chelsea accept the final conditions. The player wanted the move. He also spoke to Mikel Arteta. Agreement done. Documents expected to be okay. It is apparently a loan with an option to buy, and Arsenal will cover, I think it said 75% of his wages. Raheem Sterling will become an Arsenal player. Pretty unbelievable, to be honest. And I'm with you. I never thought I would see the day Raheem Sterling would be an Arsenal player. I don't know what to make of it. I'm trying my best to be positive. Sterling's a player I've always liked. And again, maybe I'm biased. Maybe I am biased. I would love to know what number he's going to wear, by the way, because 10 and 14 are available. I think for his sake, just take number 10. You did say you wanted Cruz to get a Sterling shirt. Wow. You know what, Tactics? What a memory you've got there. I said this story a few times, didn't I, people? I'll repeat it as you've brought it up. I won't waffle on for too long. Cruz is 11. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, he came to me and he said, Dad, obviously he's an Arsenal fan. He came to me and he said, Dad, I'm not really enjoying being an Arsenal fan. I'm going to school and, they're kind of, when I say I'm an Arsenal fan, they're kind of like smirking about it, when we was at school, right, and Henri, you said Arsenal, it meant something. People didn't have no talk. He said, it ain't really going down too well at school when I'm saying I'm an Arsenal fan. I said, what do you want to do about it? He said, I'm going to be honest, Dad. I really like Raheem Sterling. I like Aguero. They had that kind of team at the moment, at that time. And I said, what do we do about this? Do I just free him? This is when we was finishing 8th and 5th. I said, do I free him from this pain and buy him Raheem Sterling 7 on the back of the Manchester City shirt? Or do I put out the rescue mission to keep him at Arsenal? And I put out the rescue mission to keep him at Arsenal. Was it the right thing or was it cruel? So I did what any dad should do. I took him to the Emirates. I took him in the armory. I said, pick what you want. There was T-shirts, there was shorts, there was training kits, there was footballs. And then we did the Emirates tour. I showed him the gold Invincible trophy. I showed him Thierry Henry's shirt. He watched videos. The tour guide told him everything we've done great as a football club. By the time he came out of that armory with 2 bags full of Arsenal merch, he was brainwashed. He couldn't remember anything about Manchester City by the time he came out of that club shop. And it worked. Was it the right decision? Finally, though, he can get Sterling on the back of a shirt, and it will be an Arsenal shirt. It's crazy. Well, did I finesse him? Was it cruel? Am I actually out of order? Maybe we've won 1-5, they get relegated and I've done the right thing, but damn. I had to do it, people. For Arsenal, I have to think about the next generation. As you get older, you got to think about the younger generation, the next ones. And it was necessary. I got to look after Arsenal long term. You've got no choice, bro. You've got no choice. Let me say one thing. Sam says 3-minute ban for you. Let me say one thing. Leahy just said it, and I agree with him. And I'm not just saying it. We've got to support him. Whether we like it or not. We've got to support Raheem Sterling. And we've got to hope that Sterling is motivated to prove Chelsea wrong. Because people are writing Sterling off. And Sterling might be sitting there going, how are people writing me off when you look at my CV? We need Sterling to be motivated to prove people wrong. This can't be the Willian situation where your CV is stacked and you're purely here to get a payday. Sterling needs to prove himself. You're out of the England squad. People are saying you're washed up. It's an unbelievable move for Raheem Sterling at this stage of his career. You can't get on the bench for Chelsea. A lot of people saying you wrote off. You've got a loan move to Arsenal for a manager that was your assistant manager and you know him well. Sterling to Arsenal, 55% of you saying good news, it helps the squad. 45% saying shambles, more Chelsea leftover. So you're just slightly edging towards the side of positivity with the deal. Let's put it this way. He knows Declan Rice, Ben White and Saka from international duty. He knows Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City. He also obviously knows Mikel Arteta. So I don't see this as difficult for him to settle into that dressing room. There's a number of players in that dressing room that he knows and has probably had friendships with. So there should be no problem. We've got to support him. We've got to hope he's motivated. I don't think he will start straight away. He will probably be on the bench. And we've got to hope that he produces something. Because at the moment, Martinelli's out of form. Trossard does not consistently perform when starting. And also, Saka has no backup. That's where we're at. And I don't know. Was he at Chelsea when Jorginho and Havertz were there? I think he's probably... How long? Sterling's been there 2 seasons, right? Yeah. So he would have been there with Havertz. So he knows a lot. I did say a couple of weeks ago, we will definitely be linked with Raheem Sterling. We went one step further. We have signed him. Here we go, people. Raheem Sterling is joining Arsenal. It will be a loan with an option to buy. They say desperate times, desperate measures. As I said, in isolation, I'm not that mad at the signing. It's what's happened around him. If we'd signed Gyökeres and Sterling, we'd be having a party right now. If we'd signed Tony and Sterling, Osimhen and Sterling, we'd be having a party right now. The problem is, it was Neto and Sterling, and I just don't know if that really does what it's supposed to do. Let me get some of these super chats in, and then we'll continue. Nearly 4,000 of you in the chat. Amazing support. Chris Eddy, Arsenal shopping in the clearance aisle as usual. Red stickers on it. Sale. Come and have a look. £1 fish. We'll be there when Sterling misses from close range. The positive and negative of Raheem Sterling. When Raheem Sterling's good, he can rip any fullback in the Premier League apart. He did it even last season to Kyle Walker. The bad thing with Raheem Sterling, he can miss an open goal from 6 yards. He can be one of the best players and one of the most frustrating players. It's which one you get. Busy said Sterling is a good signing. He is additional firepower with a point to prove. Maybe Martinelli moves to the 9. I have tickets to the Spurs game. I'm excited. And with the window, there's a trophy income. Listen, I just think Arsenal, the players, the fans, we needed to see new faces. I wanted more and I believe we needed more. But I think to just get Raheem Sterling, they needed something. They needed some belief. that something new and someone new was joining. Nerman said, guys, we're at a stage we can't sign anyone. Arteta's complex system is very specific. It requires elite talent and high intelligence. These players that are not available easily, we tried. I don't know about the whole we tried thing. Did we try enough, Nerman? I don't know. Chris said, stop buying from Chelsea. Kiss my teat. Guna Carlos, at least he's the best Chelsea reject we've bought. That's probably, yeah. CE, it's a lazy signing. No one wanted him. It's just a body. A lot of people are saying that online. Sam said this has got to be a record for Edu. C, completing a deal in 24 hours instead of a decade. Obviously, the situation is different, but nicely done. See, I mean, Chelsea were desperate to sell. Fitz is in the building. He said, Arteta is a liar and a coward. Edu is a liar and is useless. The Cronkays are liars and are clueless at running a football club. Until we get rid of them all, top four will always be the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fitzjoseph. The clip was always going to be let off. Fitz is a very passionate Arsenal fan, and there's a lot of angry Arsenal fans right now, people. There's a lot. And you've got a right to feel let down. You do. Fitz is in the building. Big up yourself as always, bro. HR, we will sign Mateta or some Premier League striker in January. January is a long way off right now. Lambo, Chelsea are Arsenal's feeder club, but Edu hasn't realised we're meant to get the players when they're young and in their prime. You're right there. OGD, we need a centre mid more than we need a striker. Marino out for 6 to 8 weeks, people. Liam Brady's left foot, thank you for the super sticker. Really appreciate that. Sniper Scope, deliver the title to City tonight. Why wait 9 months? Yeah, just get it over with. Mohammed, the question should be, are we better with him or worse? We find out when we see him play. If he's motivated, we're better. If it's retirement home settings, we're worse. Sam said, well said, see what have the Cronkays actually contributed to Arsenal. No new training ground, no significant improvements to the stadium, no Premier League, and no Champions League, but about 500 training kits. Fabricator, I'm drunk, but the transfer window still looks ish. Jamie, Arsenal are literally Chelsea's bin man now. Factual Guna, we were so close to being great, but once again failed to do what's required. Our only fit striker is Havertz, and he's not even a natural striker. Jeezy, we have to look at Arteta and Edu. They have spent 700 million on hella goalkeepers and defence, ripping up big contracts while winning nothing, yet we are very short. It's time to come to a head. You're right, they can't get away with it completely. Young Gunner, I've stayed very calm this window. Arteta has every reason to feel let down by this shambolic board. It reminds me of when they didn't back Emery and sacked him. Never reactionary, but we need answers. You are right. Dinershen, thank you, Curtis. Sterling to you. Sancho to us. We're still not officially confirmed yet from either club, but we have had, here we go, Sterling to Arsenal and Jadon Sancho to Chelsea. Very interesting that it looked like it was going to be Sancho to Chelsea and Sterling to Manchester United, but Sterling is heading to the Emirates, people, which I just didn't... Well, I did think we would be linked with him. I'm still surprised that we've signed him. Love Alexander, honestly, he walks in. He's our second best winger. I did ask this earlier with Dan Potts. Where would Raheem Sterling be in the list of wingers at Arsenal? Is he, I think we know Saka's number one. After Saka, where would you list him? Is he better than Trossard, better than Martinelli, better than Nelson? I think at the moment, definitely better than Martinelli and Nelson. Trossard is a debate, but Trossard doesn't consistently do it, but is very good in short periods. Linus said he'll link up well with Jesus, but then Jesus always injured. I think he was at Chelsea when Havertz was there, though, so he knows him. Zoo Arsenal, a kangaroo, a giraffe, and a T-Rex. Oh, my days. David, I have no time for club apologists. Edu and Josh out. No messing around. And El said, I was expecting a surprise transfer in the last few minutes, and it certainly hasn't happened. I was going to say Raheem Toney. Ivan Toney has joined Al Ali in Saudi. Why did we not make a move for him? I genuinely think he would have been a fantastic signing for Arsenal, and we haven't made a move for him, which is crazy. It really is crazy. But Raheem Sterling looks as if he will become an Arsenal player. Big up to everyone locked in. Let me just check the likes. This 4,000 of you in the chat, people in the comments. Get those likes up to at least 2,000. At least 50% of you need to be hitting that like button. Support the channel. You're at 1.2k likes. Big up yourself. Get that up to 2k before we get out of here. And I'm going to try and enjoy the rest of the evening. It's been a very long transfer window. I can't lie. Very, very long window. And a bit of a stressful one. Jeff, thank you very much, bro. He said, sounds like you need a double ray and Coke, not just a red stripe. You're not wrong, bro. It's Friday night, people. Enjoy yourselves. Incognito, Raheem, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, now Arsenal. What a career. How has he ended up at those clubs? Unbelievable career. Raheem Sterling. At least Chelsea is paying Sterling to play for Arsenal. From what I'm reading, they will pay part of his wages. Transfer window to me is a 3 out of 10, said Il Rio. Please subscribe and share, people. Big up, said MB. Please start Calafiori, not Zinni tomorrow. It's almost like we haven't got a game tomorrow. I can't even... Nah, Calafiori, I think you can play Timber. I think you play Timber again. David said, glad Cruz had a hat-trick or this whole day would have been a waste. Big up, David. Appreciate your support. Well done to Cruz on his hat-trick. Finally, a decent backup for Saka at least, says Carl, and I do agree with that. Andrew said, I'm trying to see the positives in this. I can't help feel like if we're going to settle for Sterling, why not just keep Smith Rowe? We need at least 2k. Like, listen, the club will look at it and say they got 30 million for Smith Rowe. Sterling's in on loan. We don't have to make that a permanent. That's how they would justify it. RSPB said he's a modern day Anelka. Anelka, of course, played for City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. You're right. You are right on that. We have an option to buy Sterling for 30 million. Chelsea has a 25 million on Sancho. Their net spend will be plus 5 million between these two deals. I'm trying to figure out and see now what are the exact details of the Raheem Sterling deal. It's believed to be an option to buy. But how much is it? Remember, Reece Nelson looks to be heading to Ipswich Town on loan. SR Collins now saying in the Standard, no fee involved in the loan move, but he said there's no option to make it permanent. Belief at Arsenal, they've got a great deal when it comes to the payment of the wages. I told you, Arsenal, they are the ultimate bargain hunters. They've paid no loan fee for him. And they're not paying his full wages. No option to buy and no obligation to buy. Honestly, they are high-fiving right now. They're high-fiving. 100% they're high-fiving. They think they've got an absolute bargain. No option to buy. Imagine he actually rips the place up and we can't sign him. Apparently, Reece Nelson, has that been announced? Let's have a look. Before we round up, we need to know that these things are definitely done. I don't want to go to bed and then wake up and one of these deals has collapsed. Let's have a look. 2 minutes ago, Raheem Sterling's loan move from Chelsea to Arsenal is all but done. Agreement has been reached. Players' keenness to make it happen. No loan fee, no obligation. But SR Collins is saying not even an option, which is crazy. Reece Nelson to Fulham looks like it's happening. I haven't seen confirmation of it yet. Edu out, says Hugo. Arsenal pay between 100 and 150 of the sterling wages. Listen, in isolation, they've got a good deal. Chelsea were desperate to get him out of the club. They were always going to give us a suitable deal. John Cross confirming 9 deal sheets in with the Premier League to complete deals beyond 11 p.m. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal should go through, but it is into extra time. So basically, Arsenal submitted a transfer sheet before the 11 p.m. deadline. They now have until 1 a.m. to complete the whole deal, which is obviously medical, personal terms, things like that. There should be no hitch. But obviously, you never know. Deals have collapsed during this time. But apparently his lawyers, his agent, all of them are at the training ground. So the deal should happen. Raheem Sterling should become an Arsenal player. Reece Nelson, we're waiting to see whether that deal becomes complete. But it looks like Reece Nelson is heading to Fulham. They've hijacked Ipswich. Ivan Toney has been announced. He has signed for Al Ali, £320,000 a week to join the Saudi club. I think it's disappointing that he hasn't gone to a big Premier League club. But listen, he's been through the lower leagues, picking up small wages. 320 grand a week, bro. That solves out generations of your family. Osimhen deal is off. He hasn't joined Chelsea. And Chelsea have not bought a striker, which I'll be honest, I think considering how much money Chelsea have spent in this window, not getting a striker is a big mistake. Although they did get João Felix, who can play up front. Jadon Sancho is here we go to Chelsea as well. That deal sheet has apparently been submitted before 11 p.m. So again, Chelsea are trying to tie up the paperwork between now and 1 a.m. to get that deal confirmed. Curtis and Turkish, the only two who don't BS. Well, big up my bro Turkish. Guna Birdie said, I need more red stripe. We need a crate. And Rory with the story is now a new member. Big up yourself. And Michael Angus, honestly, Curtis, if we get injuries, I can see it getting very toxic. I'm telling you now, they have missed a massive opportunity. It's going to kick off. And I agree with that. Declan Rice, Saka, Saliba, Odegaard. Any of those guys get injured, I think we're in trouble. Especially Odegaard. And some of those other creative players that we've let go. An injury to Odegaard would be an absolute disaster. And Declan Rice. Jermaine said, bro, I saw you in LA when you were here. I'm getting my Sterling jersey. I wonder what number he'll wear. I'm really intrigued what number he'll wear. Will he wear 14 or will he wear number 10? That will be interesting. It will be very, very interesting. He won't be in the squad tomorrow, of course, Raheem Sterling, but I would imagine he will be at the stadium. Kai's been exceptional as a striker. I think that's a stretch. He hasn't been exceptional. Has better stats than Toney. Let's give him a whole season, judge him after. The biggest problem is we don't usually value what we have. I hear that point. He has not been exceptional. That is definitely a stretch, bro. Exceptional is what Haaland has done, what, other players. He has not been exceptional. He's been much improved. Exceptional is definitely a stretch. I've got to be honest. Exceptional is doing something that not many other people can do. What he's done at Arsenal is nothing outrageously good. I'm just keeping it a buck, people. It looks like 1 a.m. is going to be the next deadline, people. I'm going to be honest. I'm not staying live until 1 a.m. because I haven't had any dinner. It is getting late. Cruz is going to bed shortly. So I'm probably going to round up. We will be live tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. We do have a watch-along against Brighton. It's almost difficult to think about a watch-along with all this transfer stuff going on at the moment. So, people, I'm going to bid you farewell for the evening. I've been live for, hour and 34? Apparently Fabrizio's tweeted. Let's have a look at that before we get out of here. No, that's an old one that was talking about Osimhen. Let's see what Fabrizio is saying. He says, Raheem Sterling is a new Arsenal player. All the documents have been signed. Loan deal, no option to buy. It is official. Arsenal have not announced it. Raheem Sterling is an Arsenal player. As I said, personally, I don't mind the Sterling deal on loan. I think it's an intriguing and very interesting proposition. And also provides a lot of content. But however, we will finish this stream by saying, once again, let's look at the bigger picture of this ownership model been positive enough with this football club. Are they desperate to win the Premier League? Are they desperate to win the Champions League? The question is, if you're not desperate to win the Premier League, if you're not desperate to win the Champions League, why did you not sell the club when you had the opportunity? When Daniel Ek turned up with Thierry Henry and co. and said, we will buy that football club off you. Because yes, this is a business. You don't become a billionaire without being ruthless. I'm sure you have to stamp on people to become that successful. It's ruthless. I'm not sure many nice people become billionaires. You've got to be a ruthless businessman or woman to make that much money. But this is a football club. This isn't an office building. This isn't Amazon or Spotify. You're talking about a club that is supported by millions of people who put their time, their energy, their money every single day into this football club. This is an institution. Worldwide, people support this club and put their time and effort in. And you deliver transfer windows like that, and I'm supposed to lap this up, accept it, and celebrate it. Yeah, I'm a fan, like everybody else in the chat. Ultimately, there's only so much I can do. I can't force this ownership to go and buy a striker that gives us a great opportunity of winning the Premier League. I can't. I don't have that kind of power. I just don't. I can try, I can speak up, but it ain't enough unless we do it collectively together. And unfortunately, people, whether we like it or not, the majority, not everybody, but the majority of the Arsenal fan base, online in particular, they are happy and accepting of the breadcrumbs that we are being fed off the dinner plate. I'm in the minority, people. People online think I'm crazy when I'm saying, what are the Kroenkes doing? Why are they not buying a striker? How comes we finish every summer transfer window with gaping holes in our team? Two seasons of challenging Man City, you're supposed to say, get them now, bro. We're hot on the heels of Man City. Go and get them. Go and spend 150 million. Buy the striker. Don't leave us with any gaps in our starting 11. I can accept the odd gap in the squad. Even Manchester City have gaps in their squad. But don't look at the starting 11 and say, yo, there's a gaping hole. You need a striker. You've left us short once again. Stan Kroenke. You're the owner. You're you've left us short again. At the beginning of a season with all the hope, the optimism, the belief, the pre-season tour, the new merch. The window was closed and you have left us short again. And my question is why? Why are we short again? Why have we not taken advantage of the fact Manchester City have only signed 2 players and said, yo, let's go and get them. 115's lurking round the corner. Let's go and buy 4 players of high quality that push this team onto the next level. I have no choice but to support Raheem Sterling, Neto, Calafiori and Mikel Merino. Merino's mashed up his shoulder. Big up my bro Turkish in the chat. It's that time, my bro. It's that time. They'll call me crazy. They're calling me crazy online. You're crazy. We've just got squad depth. Raheem Sterling. Yeah, Sterling, squad depth. I don't mind Sterling. Yard man, cool. But I'm not going to sit here and start giving this window 7s and 8s out of 10. They call you crazy at the start, you know. They call you crazy. Then they understand what you're saying. And all of a sudden you don't look so crazy. So I'll take it. They can criticise me online. You're crazy. Stop being negative. Yeah, I will support them. I have no choice. I'm an Arsenal fan. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm celebrating this transfer window, because I'm not. I'm not celebrating this transfer window. We didn't get enough. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe you need to be a bit crazy in life, especially as an Arsenal fan. But I'm sorry, people. I will not sit here and pretend and dress this up as something it's not, people. This is not what some people online are going to tell you this is. It's absolutely not. We're 5 years into the process. They told us we're going to buy world-class players. Get back in the Champions League. So you can sign the world-class players. World-class. Where's the world-class players? Anyone seen the world-class players? I thought we had to be in the Champions League to get world-class players. Well, we're in the Champions League. Where's the world-class players? We're in the Champions League. Where are they? Compete with Bayern Munich. Are we competing with Bayern Munich? They slapped us with their worst team in 11 years. Are we competing with Bayern Munich? Have you got genuine belief that we're finishing above Manchester City? You got genuine belief? Or do you just think, I'm now more worried about Liverpool than I am excited about catching Manchester City on the back of that window. Listen, I'm about to round up shortly. Make sure you go and check out Turkish. He's live at 12:30. I would have got him on. It sounds like he's travelling home. I believe he's been on the AFTV shows. So I would imagine he's driving home. 12:30. I will still be up because we're waiting till 1 o'clock to see if these deals have actually been completed. Turkish is live, 45 minutes. Go and support him. Go and listen to him. We've got to discuss and see what's happening. Crazy thing is, we got a game tomorrow. I actually can't believe it. It's going to be crazy doing a watch along tomorrow. I'm so caught up in this. Stan Kroenke said, I didn't buy Arsenal to win trophies. People have defended this statement. I will not go away from this until I see evidence to suggest it's changed. Yeah, it was in 2016. Yeah, he's put more money in since being 100% owner. But does he do enough? I've never heard a Man City fan say, Abu Dhabi, they don't really do enough. I've never heard them say that. I never heard a Chelsea fan say, Abramovich, yeah, he don't do enough. I never heard that, ever. I never used to hear Man United fans say, yeah, David Gill and all them lot, they don't do enough. Never heard that. They do enough. They do what's necessary. And if it doesn't work, heads roll. Players get sold. Managers get sacked. Things change. You do everything you can to win. I don't believe in this ownership. I just don't believe in it. I don't believe in it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I do either. This is not no 7 out of 10 window. It's certainly not an 8 out of 10 window. Let's not even talk about 9s and 10s out of 10, because that's just an embarrassment. This is nowhere near any kind of 7, 8, 9 out of 10 window. Our midfielder's done his shoulder. Our defender's not even fit enough to start. Goalkeeper, yeah, it's a 35-year-old backup. And we got Sterling on loan. I mean, and there's no option to buy. I'm going to read out these last few bits and then I'm going to get off. I'm going to have some dinner. I'm going to relax. And I'll be here tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Because that's what we do. We love the club. We're here and that's where the frustration comes from. We've got nearly 2,000 likes, so big up. No, in fact, we haven't. We haven't. We're at 1.5k. So let's get that up to 2,000 likes. Let me finish off with these super chats. Jamaica, you need that Sterling shirt. It's a must. Will he wear 10 or 14? If I was him, I would say don't go near that 14. It's too... It means too much to us. Fair enough, actually. 10 is Dennis Bergkamp and Paul Merson's shirt. Rory said Chelsea bought Neto and Sancho and we buy Sterling. Salt and Pepe, Curtis Arteta doesn't see a gaping hole in the squad because he loves Havertz up front. Whose fault is that really? And I do think there is an element of blame that has to go towards him. Maybe not for this window individually, but because of what happens collectively over the last 5 years. Paying off contracts to Aubameyangs and Ozuls and Socrates and all those players and misusing money on Fabio Vieiras and Kiviors and players that haven't worked, that's probably in turn cost you this window. And I still sit here to this day and say Kai Havertz was not value for money until I see something different. Beresford said Man United will win the Premier League before Arsenal do. Clip this. Carl said, will Sterling get Nketiah's old number? I actually hope he doesn't. I don't want Sterling to wear 14. TGG said, big up Big C. It's 4 a.m. I've just joined. What have we got? We have got Raheem Sterling. Reece Nelson is heading to Fulham on loan. Raheem Sterling is an Arsenal player on loan. Neto has been signed on loan. Ramsdale has joined Southampton. Eddie Nketiah has joined Crystal Palace. Want to say a big thank you to the community. It's been an interesting day. 3 streams today. Shaw Sports News Business. Another transfer deadline day done. We are where we are. Tomorrow we're back. 11:30 a.m. Arsenal against Brighton. Watch along. Let's do the stream. Let's hope we get 3 points. And then after that, we will discuss what has or hasn't happened in this transfer window. I want to say a big thank you to all of you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. Raheem Sterling is an Arsenal player. I never thought that would happen, but it has. Is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing? Time will tell. But let's start by getting 3 points against Brighton tomorrow. Danny Welbeck derby. Take care, everyone. See you all tomorrow. And let's see what happens. Take care. Bless.